Hello, today we're using the SketchBook Express application for iPad to create a design using the letters of our name. We're going to create block letters that contain space. I have an example on the left hand side of the screen, and in just a minute we'll begin. But first let's start by reviewing the SketchBook Express application icons. Please repeat the name of each one after me. Gallery, Add New Sketch, and plus to save. I for information, undo arrow, redo arrow, brush editor, draw styles, free draw, line tool, rectangle tool, circle tool, symmetry, text, transform, layers. Let's go to our brush editor. In the bottom left is our pen tool. Let's use the pen tool and set the color to a dark color. For each of the letters that we create today, we're going to try to capture space. So instead of writing an E like this, we're going to try to trace all around that E and come all the way back to the beginning, so we create a letter that contains space. This might be referred to as a block letter or a bubble letter. If you have a difficult time visualizing where the E is, you could write that E, trace around it without ever touching the original E, and then erase the E on the inside. Then when you use fill bucket to fill that letter with color, you get that solid block letter that we're trying to achieve. The example that I have on the screen is the name Erica. The letters of the name have been scrambled and stacked on each other so they create overlapping areas, and each area is filled with a different color. You're welcome to scramble the letters and mix up the letters of your name and stack them as you like. I'm going to use my last name for this exercise. I'm going to draw all of my letters with a black outline and then fill them with different colors. Let's begin. Make sure when you're drawing your letters and they enclose space, make sure that they touch when you come back around. If you leave an opening in any part of your letter, when you attempt to fill it with color, you will not be able to. The color will go everywhere. I'm going to leave one of these L's slightly open so that we can see what happens when we try to fill it with color later. Make sure your letters overlap. It'll be easiest to do when I come to the S, my last letter. I can make it overlap and intersect several other letters. Let's go back to our brush editor and select the fill bucket to fill each one of these letters with color. Let's see what happens when I try to fill this L with color, where the corner is open right there. The color doesn't stay contained inside of that shape. It goes outside of the shape and fills the entire screen. If that happens to you with any of your letters, please select the pen tool again and go back and close that letter off so that it contains space. I'm going to pick different bright colors, and using the fill bucket, fill in each one of my letters with a bright color. I'm going to alternate those and use a variety of different bold colors in my color palette. And wherever those letters intersect, like where the E and the S and the W overlap, I'm going to do a different color in that area. You may find it necessary to zoom in and zoom out as you move around your name design. You also may want to move across the rhombus in the middle of the color wheel so you can pick up some different shades of each color. Please use a lot of variety. Some of your colors may be dark, muted colors. Some of them may be light tints. This is a great activity to practice moving around the color wheel, picking from red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet, and mixing black to create a shade or white to create a tint of each color, and using lots of different values of each color that you select. Make sure you don't touch any of the lines that are the outlines of each letter. If you do, you'll actually change the color of that line. And we want to leave those a dark color. The fill bucket is a great tool to help us quickly fill our artwork with a variety of colors. If you would like to repeat a color, tap that color with your finger and hover over it until you see this target. Once you see that target, you've picked up that same exact color and you can use it elsewhere in your artwork. I would rather have a little more contrast than that with my letter E. So I'll pick a darker value of blue. Now, as you can see, once I've finished filling all of my letters with color, I have a great deal of empty space around them. We've been looking at some different lines that we use to draw in art class. I'm going to create a rectangle around my letters and then use lots of different lines to decorate that space. I'll come back and get my rectangle tool and make sure that I've picked a pen tool again. I can't create a rectangle with my fill bucket. And draw out a rectangle around those letters. And then using free draw, let's fill the space around them. I'm going to try some zigzag lines and also some wavy lines to create sections, kind of like making a jigsaw puzzle. You might try the bumpy line or the jagged line, diagonal, horizontal, and vertical. And then fill each one of those separate spaces with a different color. With Fill Bucket, I'll fill this area with red, this with green. Use whatever colors you choose. That way we don't leave any empty space in our artwork. And the violet color we used initially creates a frame around the rest of our artwork. When you finish, I suggest you write your name or type your name. Let's try that. Let's use the text tool to type our name in the bottom right hand corner so everyone can see the name of the person who created this particular work. You can also select the font or the style of your letters for when you sign your name. Make sure you place it in the desired position, then press Done. And when you finish, press plus to save it.